Hey everybody, this is Ramon Ray, founder of SmartHustle.com for another exciting interview to help you grow your business and learn this. I'm very excited to have Mr. Scott Turner, who leads the HUD's opportunity zones, and he can say that better than me, the government's response and to help disadvantaged communities. Those are my words. And so, Mr. Scott Turner, welcome, and thank you for taking the time to join us today. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Ramon. I'm happy to be here. And thank you for having this platform that we can share with the people in our country.
Absolutely. So before we dive into some things today, and really we want to focus on what is Opportunity Zone, why we should care, why it's important. Would love to give you time to talk about anything about the recent things going on with George Floyd and things of that nature. But can you just start off by telling people who you are and what you do, and explain HUD, Opportunity Zone, for those who get confused. White House, HUD, Opportunity Zone.
All right.
Help us understand that.
Okay, so my name is Scott Turner.
Yes, sir.
And I currently serve as the Executive Director of the White House Opportunity and Revitalization Council.
Okay.
And I know that's a mouthful, but we like to call it WORC, W-H-O-R-C.
Okay.
So when you hear people talk about work from the White House, that's the council. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that the president signed into law in 2017, out of that law came the Opportunity Zones legislation and initiative. And from a high-level overview, opportunity zones are those communities in America that have a lower median income. They have a higher poverty rate. They oftentimes have a high crime rate, lack of quality education. Really, it's those places in America, the vulnerable communities of America, if you will, the distressed communities. And as the president talked about, the forgotten communities or forgotten men and women of our country. And so the focus is inside of these communities to take the White House Council, which consists of 15 federal agencies and 3 state and regional partners, and to streamline and to coordinate these resources from a federal standpoint and partner with the capital gains or the private resources and partner to bring real long-term sustainability from economic development, entrepreneurship, safe neighborhoods, the workforce and education, these pillars that we have on the council, to bring these inside of the distressed communities for generational impact. And so the spirit of the council, which I love to tell people, because once you know the spirit of something,
right.
And you know the root of something, not only do you have buy-in, but now you know how to take that, make it your own, and understand what the mission is. So the spirit of this is economic development as well as community development and social impact. And so that those inside of these communities, these said opportunity zones, can thrive and benefit from the revitalization that's taking place inside of these cities. And so that's the council, that's the spirit of it, that's the makeup of it. And we have all of these things on opportunityzones.gov, which is our website. It's a tremendous portal, a tremendous place to go learn Opportunity Zones 101 and to see that the work of the council, the pictures, the gallery, the news. We have a 1-year report that we submitted to the president last December that's on the website, and here to come very shortly, a best practices report that will be made public in the days ahead that show our journey and the travel and the things that actually have happened. And we're about results and outcomes. In Opportunity Zone. We have been really blessed to see a lot of fruit come about through this journey and through this work.
Absolutely. So it seems to me, just as I'm hearing it, that for the entrepreneurs, for the business owners, it's kind of an incentive, a carrot. My words, meaning normally you may invest lower Manhattan. I live in the Jersey area, whatever it is, or some regular place, as it were, or a place that's already wealthy. This is for, hey, look here. Look at other places. Put your money here. There will be some investment back to you for the business owner. We want to make money, but you will help the community. Is that's what I'm hearing?
Yes, Ramon, that's exactly right. You just preached a great message. Because when you think about this and from the heartbeat of the legislation and from the president and the administration and those that put it together, the heartbeat is, how do we give capital an opportunity to come inside of the Midwest, inside of the southern sector of Dallas, inside of the Rust Belt and the Appalachia and in the rural parts of our country, to have tremendous assets and tremendous potential, but oftentimes not a port of entry. And so be it from a personnel, a people standpoint, a business standpoint, an economic standpoint. And so this vehicle that we call Opportunity Zones gives us that opportunity, if you will, to allow private investors to say, man, you know what, in Birmingham, Alabama, or in Colorado Springs, or in, Lincoln, Nebraska, or
Yep.
what have you, there's opportunity here to invest and do good by doing good. So yes, you're exactly right.
I love that. And I think that, and so what's the message, would you say, Mr. Turner, what would you message you say? And I think it's obvious, but I'd love you to say, what's that message to the entrepreneurs? I guess it's be the developers, I'm guessing, those who have the capital, who are looking for places. What's that message to them? What's that message then also for maybe the distressed communities that are looking for investment? What's that message? But we can go to the website. That's one thing for sure. But what is that action that you're telling everybody? Please do this or this or this. What should we start to do today or the next several months, as it were, as time goes on? What's that message that you want us to take away?
Well, that's a great question. One of the beauties of leading this council and shepherding this initiative in our country is we go into cities, and Ramon, I've been to 60, 65 cities over the last year, to go inside of these cities and sit at the table with the elected officials,
Right,
with community leaders, faith leaders, education leaders, entrepreneurs, and business people such as yourself.
yes, sir.
With developers, with finance people. We all come to one table, transcending any political, ethnicity, socioeconomic background, and talk about the pain of that community.
Mm-hmm.
We lay it on the table. And then we talk about the potential and the promise and the strategy to bring about real outcomes. So the message is, when we get together, community person, you have the heartbeat of the community. Faith leader, you have a lot of business people and community people inside of your congregation. Elected officials, you have convening power and legislative authority to bring about true change and results. And so you get, if you walk with me and you get all these people in the room, that message is organically created because we see the problem. Now we strategize, and now we see, hey, this is how we're going to get to the outcome. So what I say to entrepreneurs is, you know what, this is a great opportunity for you. If you want to be a business owner, what assets does your community have that can attract investment? What skill set are you bringing that can attract investment, or mentors that come alongside of you to start that business, to create wealth and be a blessing to your family today and beyond? To developers, we're working with the cities.
Yes.
We're working with business people. We're working with community people. How do we make it better for you to come in and get rid of the red tape and the bureaucracy and all of the barriers that keep you from building right in the confines of what's right in this community? And so that's the message holistically. And it's been tremendous around our country. It's a different paradigm.
Right.
It's a different kind of investment.
Yeah.
It's patient capital. It's, I'm going to invest now and be patient, because not only do I want to make good on my investment, but I want to do good in the community for long-term sustainability. And man, that message, wherever I am, if I'm speaking to 1,000 people, or if I'm speaking to 10, it's the same message, because the heartbeat and the spirit is the same. And I have seen developers and entrepreneurs, man, just their mindset,
yes,
when they wrap around this and say, man, this is something that I want to do. So
absolutely.
That's the message, Ramon.
No, I appreciate that for sure. And I think that it's amazing. I think when you look at that, I think that there are so many opportunities there for sure. What is, you can answer both questions or one, but I'm curious, what has been the thing that has surprised you the most, or that you've learned as you've gone across America? And or two, what has been the biggest challenge? Has there been anything like, wow, I wish I could slap somebody in the head every time, or has there been any challenge that's recurring, or what surprised you? What have you learned? Either one.
I've learned a great deal. I've learned a lot about poverty. Poverty, it doesn't care what you look like.
Sure.
It affects all of us. Poverty doesn't care what party you're in. It doesn't care where you live. And so all of us are affected directly or indirectly.
Yeah.
And that's been very humbling and a great awakening, a revival in my spirit.
Sure.
even though I grew up, I didn't grow up wealthy. I didn't grow up privileged or anything like that. And so I've seen hardship.
Yes.
But when you go across the country and you see rural, you see tribal, you see urban, you see suburban poverty, but yet you see the resiliency of the people in America.
Yes.
That has been something that has been tremendous for me to experience on a daily basis.
Yeah. No, that's powerful.
I've learned about that. I've also learned a lot about community and city and strategy in bringing different stakeholders together and seeing how an idea and a concept becomes a reality. I've learned that in traveling, this concept and this initiative called Opportunity Zones, a lot of people have not heard about it.
Right.
As powerful as it is.
Yeah.
And so I've learned to shout it from the rooftops and tell everybody that I know about opportunity.
And I'm part of that message, I hope, today. Listen,
and so
please.
A challenge has been thinking to myself, if only this had been done earlier. But I don't live that way.
Right.
But I remind myself, this is the time that the Lord has given us to build this. And so, and I think the other challenges is just getting everybody to know about it, and I do my best as you are and others are. So we're making great progress.
No, I appreciate that. And I promised your team we'd keep this interview short. The next one, they said, I want 2 hours, but this one I said, I'll be good and keep it short.
Well, I know I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry.
No, I love it. No, this is my last question. Just, as we speak, Mr. Turner, George Floyd passed away about a week ago, give or take. What are your comments, thoughts? And it's such a big issue, but I just want to give you that space to share. We see what's going on. America's torn apart again. What's that speak to you? What's your advice? What are your thoughts from your heart?
Well, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
For sure. My wife and I, my family, very saddened.
Yeah.
About what we see and what we saw. My heart breaks for Mr. Floyd's family, for Mr. Arbery's family, and for others. But here most recently, Mr. Floyd. A life lost, unnecessarily murdered in the streets. That's the obvious.
Yes.
And many say, well, we have a systemic issue of racism. We have an institutional issue of racism. And those things may be true, but we have a generational issue of sin in our country. And we have missed the mark on the eradication of the sin of racism of all kinds in America. And being a churchman, being a servant leader, being a pastor, being a father, a son, a friend, and a brother that's Black, it's disheartening.
Yeah.
But I will not be discouraged and unmoved from the mission that I know that I've been called to. So my face, Ramon, is set like flint on the job that we have ahead.
Yes.
What I would encourage the people of America to do is, one, to check your heart. Only God can change the heart of a man, but we can all take an inventory on the heart. What is there anything in my heart that says racism, that says hatred, that says bigotry or dissension? And that's for all of us. If there's anything in there, we need to lay it before God and repent, humble ourselves, move on. And then the conversations at the kitchen table have got to change. If somebody's speaking in such a manner, we have to confront it, Black or white. And that's how I believe if we start in our heart, we start at home, that thing will spread organically throughout the community. And the other thing is we have to pray for one another, and we have to value life. You have to value human life. Yeah. Even if that doesn't look like you.
It's true.
And the next time we talk, and I have a great testimony of people coming alongside of me that aren't Black, that have loved me and supported me. And man, right now I have a neighbor of mine that's an older white man that literally is helping me as we speak in my yard. He doesn't have to, but he loves me because of me and because I'm his neighbor and I him the same. Doesn't matter what we look like. And if we can take that kind of spirit and heart and serve one another, and I know it sounds cliche, it's not cliche, man, this is reality. So in my brokenness, I'm faithful.
Amen.
I'm encouraged because I know, number one, I know that God is still on the throne. Number two, I know that as long as we have the breath of life, we can do something about it. That's my word.
I love it. Listen, with that, Scott Turner, I hope we have a chance to meet in person sometime. I hope I can.
Me too.
And consider me as an amplifier of the work that you're doing and the administration is doing to help Black community, yes, but beyond, those who need help in general. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Really appreciate it. May God bless you.
Thank you, Ramon. God bless you, brother. See you soon.
Indeed. Thank you. Thank you, Sadie, and thank you, Melanie. So recording, I'll edit all that out, but thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Sadie, for making this happen. And thank you, Mr. Turner, again. Thank you so much. Pleasure to meet you. And
are the ladies on here?
I'm sorry, sir?
Are Sadie and Melanie?
Yes, sir.
Hi, guys. This is Sadie.
Sir, we're on.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Great interview. Ramon, thank you so much for having us on today. That's awesome.
It's a pleasure.
You,
absolutely. And I'll let you know when this is live. Sadie will be in touch and look forward to working with you more. As it happens, let's be in touch. Maybe I can follow Scott for a day when he's talking to people around we'll get the city together and I'll fly there and meet you there.
Yes, anytime. Call us, man.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.